Oh, hey guys, welcome to another video. And here I want to talk about judgment and how judgment is a mirror for yourself. What do I mean by that? You probably know what it feels like to judge and especially to be judged. Feeling judged is a very unpleasant sensation and is a very unpleasant emotion. So recognizing that judgment is a painful part of our existence, we can also try to take a look at judgment from our own selves, our own self perspective, right? So we all know what it feels like to be judging someone or something. It feels tense, you are maybe even angry or disappointed or sad, and you feel this resistance. There is this tension inside you when you judge something or someone. Now, this judgment, when you take the time to actually sit down and ask yourself, first of all, learn to recognize when you're judging. This is a skill in and of itself. Understand that when you're judging, you have to recognize this emotion of judgment, this sense of judgment, this feeling of judgment. Recognize it. Capture yourself judging something, and then immediately ask yourself, okay, hey, what am I judging exactly? Why am I judging this? And most likely, when you discover what you're judging, you will realize and understand that what you're judging in the other person or in the world is a judgment towards yourself. And this is such a mind blowing realization once you really understand that this is the case. Try it out for yourself. Every time you notice yourself judging something or someone, try to go through this process. Capture yourself judging, discover or think about, specify what is it that I'm judging, what specifically am I judging here, and then thirdly, look inward. Is this something that I'm judging within myself? And I assure you that probably more than 80% of the time, 90% of the time, if not 99, if not 100% of the time, it is something that you judge within yourself. So if I would give a personal example, a few years back, could be I could feel judgment towards these macho fuckboy types in the gym, for example. They think they are arrogant, they know it all, they are so entitled. They treat everyone as if they should obey to their almighty will or whatever, right? This is of course a projection. This is of course an interpretation of their attitude. Um, right now I don't feel triggered by their presence anymore because I integrated these parts of myself. But before, I judged them because I almost envied their sense of entitlement. I almost envied that they felt so entitled to act in such an arrogant manner towards everything and everyone around them that I felt envy because I felt so afraid to be so assertive, to act so entitled because I felt like I was not worthy. I was not worthy of entitlement. So I envied their attitude and their approach to life. And that's why I judged them, because I judged my cowardly attitude in myself. I judge myself for being too afraid to act in an entitled manner, to even be arrogant sometimes. I was too afraid to be arrogant because I was afraid of the judgment of other people. So I was never brave enough to be arrogant. And so I judge the arrogance in others because I judge my lack of arrogance inside myself, right? So it's a mix between judgment and envy, but envy is a form of judgment, I believe. So this realization, understanding that every time I see a guy like this with this type of energy, I tend to immediately judge. And not, I will not treat them with disrespect. I will not be angry towards them. I will be friendly and kind and compassionate, and I will say hello, and I will treat them like a decent human being, right? But inside myself, I could feel this judgment somehow. I'm like, ah, you arrogant person, I really don't like your energy, right? But this was because I lacked the arrogant energy. I didn't integrate the arrogant part into my personality, because I think we all have a pride, arrogant part inside ourselves. We just sometimes don't let it speak because we're so afraid of being judged for it, right? Because we judge the others, we think that other people would do exactly the same towards us if we would act in an arrogant, entitled manner, right? So by understanding this mechanism, by really looking inside and thinking about these things, asking myself these questions: why do I judge this person? What is it precisely that I judge? Is it the way he walks? Is it the energy? What is it exactly? Why is that? Why do I judge it? Oh, because I am afraid to act in an assertive manner, to assert myself, because I'm afraid of the judgment of others. So I am scared, I feel cowardly, and I judge myself for that, right? So judgment is almost like the perfect mirror for ourselves. And whenever you find yourself judging something or someone, I can almost guarantee you it's something within yourself that you're judging. And once you start to work on accepting these parts of yourself, integrating these parts of yourself, understanding that you grow up, you have certain reasons to feel the way you feel, the beliefs, changing the story you tell about yourself. Once you start putting time and energy into doing that, you will see that the judgment will disappear. That's the interesting part. It will really disappear. Now, when I'm somewhere in the gym and there is this arrogant person, I think to myself, well, first of all, incredible that you are able to assert yourself like this. I suffered with establishing myself in such a manner, and it took me a long time to be brave enough to act like this. Secondly, I understand that probably it's also a way for them to deal with their insecurities. So a lot of arrogant, entitled people, men, uh, and girls, women also, they tend to put up this arrogant, prideful shield because they're just very insecure, right? So by seeing it from that angle, I don't feel emotionally triggered anymore. I can act with compassion, I can act with respect and understanding, and I can admire certain parts of their personality that are assertive and straightforward and bold. I can admire that because I learned to appreciate these parts inside myself too. And I can understand that maybe a lot of their behavior is rooted in insecurities. And maybe they're not even aware they're doing that. So I can then have a sense of compassion towards them. Okay, this is their way of dealing with their fears and insecurities, and I have compassion for that. So my judgment just disappears. How? By doing the work on myself. And this is precisely why I want to talk to you guys about these things, because I believe that by making you more aware, by showing you the tools that I use to resolve these issues, not necessarily issues, these situations, right? By showing you the tools that I use, hopefully you can pick a few for yourself and then resolve these things within yourself and ultimately become more compassionate, loving human beings. And hate will not be conquered by hate. Hate will be conquered by love. And by increasing your capacity for love, by doing the work on yourself, by letting go of the negative parts, the resistance, by integrating the shadow parts, by understanding that you are capable of hurting someone, you are capable of causing a lot of suffering, incredibly amounts of suffering. You are capable of doing that. As am I, right? Understanding that you have this capacity, these capabilities, but choosing not to, and choosing to use it for a greater good, choosing to use it to integrate yourself, to develop yourself, to increase your capacity for love, this will reduce the amount of suffering in the world one step at a time. And it has like a ripple effect, right? Once I integrate the negative or the hurtful or suffering causing parts of my personality into my system, I will have less tendencies to cause harm outside myself. But this will affect the other people around me, and that will affect the other people around them. So it's like a positive ripple effect. So the impact is exponential almost. This is what I find so beautiful about this type of work, is that it really can have a massive impact on the world, on society, and people's lives. And I care about that. I really do. So that's why I believe that using judgment as a tool to increase your capacity for love can have a net positive impact on the amount of suffering in the world. And ultimately, that's what I live for. So what else is there to believe in than love? So I want to wrap it up here. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for being brave. I want to thank you for looking inward and thus making the world a better place one step at a time. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you in the next one.